Well, it's official. Keith Freeman has been fired.
Well, top aide to a controversial South suburban politician has been fired as federal investigators focus in on his boss.
Federal prosecutors charged Keith Freeman with bankruptcy fraud back in April, but that didn't stop Tiffany Henyard from keeping him on the payroll in both Dalton and Thornton Township. Freeman denied in an afternoon text message to me that he had been fired from the township job, but we have the records that show he was.
Can Keith Freeman ever tell the truth about anything? This has been around for at least a week or two. It's the first time I guess it's official that he has been fired. But the man can't tell the truth about anything at all. Obviously on how much money he earns, that's why he's been hit with bankruptcy fraud. But we're gonna check out the rest of this video and kind of talk about exactly what the hell is going on and some theories on, okay, he's been fired. What is he going to do now?
And it's raising speculation about his role in the ongoing federal investigation into Henyard's leadership. Keith Freeman has been a top aide and trusted advisor to Tiffany Henyard in Dalton and Thornton Township for a few years now, even running interference when we've raised questions about Henyard's spending.
And that's extremely important to understand. This was one of Tiffany Henyard's most loyal supporters. Of all the things that's been going on, he has been the one enabling her behavior. He was a part of it. There's tons of videos on his channel talking about all the shady things that Keith Freeman has done in his past, also as administrator of the township, having both positions here. And it's very interesting how things are getting worse for both of them as the feds are in town.
How come you don't respond to my emails?
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's all you're getting from me. That's all you're getting from me today.
But lately, Freeman has been feeling the heat from federal prosecutors. They charged him with lying about and covering up his income from Dalton in what some saw as a play to push him to cooperate with the FBI's investigation into Henyard. Back then, trustees said they hoped it was the beginning of the end of Henyard's reign.
And if you are the feds, that's exactly what you do. You try to get some of the more senior, the lieutenants of the administration. You hit them with something that was pretty obvious because the guy can't file for bankruptcy properly. And now you probably give him some options. What are you going to do to save your own ass? Or are you going to start snitching?
But Henyard allowed Freeman to keep both jobs until now. WGN Investigates has learned township administrators loyal to Henyard began demanding answers about Freeman's whereabouts during the workday. Records show he claimed to be on family medical leave, but didn't fill out an application. And on July 9th, HR sent Freeman this letter firing him. It reads in part, "Due to the high-ranking position that you hold at the township, this type of misconduct cannot be tolerated. Your misconduct is a detriment to the smooth functioning of the township's operations."
Was that really the reason? That was not the reason. I mean, as you've seen from many of Henyard's most loyal supporters, they do whatever the hell they want, as long as they're loyal to Tiffany Henyard. Is it possible that the fact that Tiffany may be thinking, this guy's definitely snitching on me, it's time for him to cut loose? And the idea for Keith Freeman to, again, do something unethical. None of this is a surprise. None of this is a surprise to anyone. I hope it's not a surprise.
Freeman's departure comes as Henyard is facing a challenge for mayor and control. On Sunday, a slate of trustees who have called out her use of tax money for self-promotion, questionable contracts, a big security detail, travel, and her namesake cancer charity announced they're seeking to dethrone Henyard in next year's election. Despite his firing from the township, it's unclear whether Freeman is still making money from the village of Dalton. In a text message to me, Freeman denied that he was fired and denies that he's cooperating with the feds. Henyard's $5,000 a month publicist, once again, did not respond to our request for comment.
Surprise, no comment. So he's disputing that he was fired, but is he still like technically doing the work of the position?
Well, this all started in Thornton Township when they said he wasn't showing up for work. Now in the village of Dalton, we're told by trustees, is still on the payroll in Dalton, but there have been some attempts or rumblings to remove him, but no formal process. Because he's the village administrator, the village board in Dalton would technically have to be notified that he's out, and Mayor Henyard hasn't done that yet.
I can't imagine what it's like to be a resident and try to find answers to any of this.
And for the last year.
Good point. It's been extremely chaotic, to say the least. Is the man fired or he isn't fired? Why he doesn't know? Does he know? And he made sure to tell Ben Johnson that he wasn't cooperating with the feds. Of course he's cooperating with the feds. What other choice does he have? So we got Keith Freeman and Tiffany Henyard, two key figures in Dalton and Thornton Townships, local government. It looks pretty bad at this point. Henyard tried to keep him around, but I think at this point she wants to separate herself from him. As you saw from some of the stuff I talked about in the depositions, Tiffany is going to throw Keith Freeman under the bus, and at this point, Keith Freeman is definitely going to throw Tiffany Henyard under the bus. Of course, this is linked to the federal investigation into the Henyard administration. Henyard has been more than just an aide. He has been a close advisor. He has shielded Henyard from uncomfortable questions when it comes to spending public money. With the charges against him, there's no surprise that many people are speculating what Freeman might know and whether he might spill the beans to save his own ass. Now, the official reason, not showing up for work, not filing the proper paperwork for family medical leave, is not a good look for someone in a high-ranking position, but Keith Freeman has done tons of things that hasn't made him look good in a high-ranking position. We can talk about Henyard's leadership and how bad it is. Why would she keep someone in such a critical role if they weren't doing their job? Well, she keeps a lot of people that don't do their jobs properly. All this paints a chaotic picture of an administration that might be more interested in self-serving activities, self-preservation than actually serving the public. And Freeman, being such a close advisor, this is where things are going to get really, really chaotic. So what is next for Freeman? One big question is whether he'll cooperate with the feds. I believe he is cooperating with the feds. This is going to provide a lot of juicy details about what is going on in Henyard's administration. I'm sure he read a deposition and saw that Tiffany Henyard was basically blaming him for everything, that she does not deal with the day-to-day. That's why the village administrator is around. Did you know that the DeGaldo Law Group was billed over $50,000 to defend this litigation? She answers, why would I know that? She says, I don't handle that. And your answer is that you don't handle that. She says, I don't. I'm the mayor. I don't know why you try to put me with day-to-day. I don't handle that. What's your understanding of how the process operates in the village of Dalton? If a vendor, a company that performs services for the village, they submit a bill to the village, what takes place? Explain that process. She says, that's more for the administration. Okay. And then you're the head of the administration, correct? She says, correct. As the mayor, it's your administration and you have regular meetings with your administration. She says, I do not. Okay. Do you have any monthly or weekly, bi-weekly meetings with anyone in your administration that has to do with invoices or bills being submitted to the village for payment? That's what a village administrator is for. That's not my job. Can you explain the warrant process? A warrant or what is bills that are outstanding to be paid? And how does that operate in the village of Dalton? She answers, I don't handle that. I think I told you that 1,000,001 times. I don't handle the day-to-day. I'm the mayor. That's it. But with Freeman denying any cooperation with the feds, or even the fact that he was fired, this could be him trying to keep a lid on things. Maybe he is trying to protect himself. He may be trying to distance himself from all this drama, but it's going to be a tough road ahead for him and Henyard. These allegations are public. Everyone is fascinated with this situation. And now Henyard is dealing with the re-election stuff, dealing with the allegations of corruption. And I want to talk about this election campaign between House and Henyard. This is going to probably be the most scrutinized mayoral election in Dalton's history. Everyone wants to know what's really going on. At this point, the residents want transparency and accountability from their leaders. And this is going to get really, really nasty. Some of the stuff I've already seen, this is going to get worse in terms of pointing fingers, throwing people under the bus, manipulation. It's going to go out of control. This whole situation is a mess, and it's crucial for the community to stay informed and demand better from those in power. It's important to question everything. It's also important to weed out all of the nonsense and ask the most important questions that help the Dalton residents and the township residents move forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how both Freeman and Henyard deal with this nonsense. I think the next village meeting is going to be an absolute mess, because at this point, Henyard can answer everything by saying it's political, because now the senior trustee, Jason House, is sitting right there. This is going to be absolutely crazy. But what do you guys think about this story? Let me know. Put in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.